guys, I'm coming on to do my second soap on the rope in a loaf mold. This one is going to be a little bit different. The other one I had just did a drop swirl in the actual loaf mold, whereas this one I'm going to do an in the pot swirl. So it'll be a little bit different. You might hear the baby in the background, but he's kind of in that napping, I'm just complaining mode right now, so hopefully he'll eventually fall asleep. But anyways, so like I said, I'm going to do an in the pot swirl, and my scent, I did have to change it. I was originally going to do a little bit of like a gingerbread kind of scent, and I was mixing up my essential oils because it's like an all-natural type soap, and I really wasn't getting a gingerbread kind of scent. I think I was missing like maybe nutmeg essential oil, or anyways, I was just missing something, and it was actually making me feel nauseous just smelling the mixture. So I was like, okay, I'm not doing this. I switched it up, and we are going to do a pine essential oil, spruce essential oil, and sweet orange essential oil. So it's kind of, you know, it's got like that pine tree, spruce kind of scent with a little bit of a citrus background to it. So it's very lovely. It smells fresh. So hopefully, you know, that'll be a lot better. So I did have to switch things up. So instead I'm going to do, my colorant is going to be French green clay. So that's what I have in here. And then I'm going to use the ultramarine blue again, and that's what's in here. So I'm just going to show you the colorants right now, where I get them and whatnot, because I know a lot of people like that. So this is my French green clay that I got from Voyagers. And it's a fantastic clay. I use it in a lot of other things. And then I have this that I used for my last soap on the rope, the ultramarine blue. And this one is from Candora. So I did want to mention that when I was making the last time, when I was making the soap and I was talking about the ultramarine, that I was worried that it might smell, and I was assured that it wouldn't, that it's fantastic in soap. And as much as it was, I did have a little bit of like, it smells like rotten eggs, like a little bit. But once the soap kind of cured, you know, a couple extra days, that went away, and the essential oils came and everything's great. So I do want to advise that as much as some people were saying it doesn't smell, for me it did a little bit. It wasn't overpowering or too much, but it did a little bit. So and then I'm going to also be, color wise, I'm also going to be using a little bit of titanium dioxide to lighten the main batter. So in here I have my typical recipe, which is coconut oil, olive oil, palm oil, which is sustainable. I have castor oil, and I have rice bran oil. If you want to know exactly the amounts, you can go on to a lot of the other videos that I've done. You can even follow me or subscribe on my YouTube channel. I'll leave the link to that below, and you can find the recipe. I talk about it every time. It's the same recipe that I use every single time. And then, like I said, the essential oils that I used are the sweet orange from Candora, and then the other two are from Voyagers, the pine essential oil and the spruce essential oil, and those are both from Voyagers. So those are basically the two companies that I really deal with often. So that's all that information. So here are my oils. I've melted them down, and then I have my lye water over here, and again I'm just going to strain this because I put my lye water outside because it's summer and it's nice out, and so sometimes there's like little flower petals or whatever that end up kind of flying in there, or you know, just from being outside. So I'll strain that, and I have my gloves on. Now I do want to note that the last video I was kind of forgetful, and I'm never that forgetful, but for whatever reason I didn't have my gloves on for part of it, and I really apologize for that. Normally I'm, you know, a little bit more careful. I'm not worried when I do it, but I mean, everybody should still use the same amount of precaution when using lye, because yes, it is toxic. It can burn your skin, but I'm always very careful, and I kind of give tips to be even more careful. So I just want to kind of state again that you should always be wearing gloves and some type of eyewear, and if you're really worried, to wear long sleeves and all that kind of stuff. So we'll get started with the mixing. So when I mix, I'm just looking to incorporate all of the oils and the lye together. I don't overmix because I do a lot of stuff with the soap afterwards, and you don't want it to accelerate too quickly, and then you have very, very thick batter to work with, unless that's what you want. So that looks good for me. Now I did change the ounces that I'm using for this one, just because I don't want as much extra. The last time it was a 40 ounce that I did, and this time it's only 30. So just an FYI for that. I'm gonna try 30. I know I'll still have a little bit extra. I still want to be able to make those smaller bars, but I don't want as much as I did. So I'm gonna be placing my essential oils in right now. My mixture. There we go. Whoops. Jeez Louise. Okay, so I'm just gonna mix that with my spoon. So I wanted to kind of quickly touch base on a few things that happened in the last couple days. I don't know if she's in this group, so it's because you're stick blending it way too much. So you're just, you know how I said in the last video, I don't know if you watched it, but that like you're just wanting to get rid of like your grease spots kind of thing, like that it gathers on the edge. As soon as that's all gone, then you're kind of good. Like you just don't want to see like a oily residue and then like that lighter. So, you know, just don't blend as much. I think a lot of people do. I used to too at the beginning, because I was always scared that I wasn't reaching trace, right? And so I was always nervous to not stick blend enough. But really, like, as long as the mixture, like I said, is mixed together, you're good. You're good. And you're going to be mixing it afterwards too, like with the colorants and stuff. So even if you are a little bit undermixed, you're going to be mixing it with the rest of the colorants. You'll be fine. So I'm actually, I'm debating. I'm going to lighten the whole thing first, because I don't want the colors to be very, very bright. I want it to just be a light, you know, some light wisps of colors. I'm just going to touch. I know it's not distilled water, but it's literally just a touch. So there we go. So I am going to have to mix this. So see, even though I didn't mix it too much, I'm going to be mixing it with the titanium dioxide, which is going to give it an extra little boost anyways. So see how like in the corner, if that was oil, you would just want to make sure that that's mixed in. There we go. So yes, so I don't know if the ladies in this group, when she contacted me, she said she was a part of some groups. So I'm not going to name any names of the companies or anything like that. And I won't go into too many details. But anyways, I was asked by a soaping company that has a store in Sudbury if I would like to take over her store, because she's from out of town and I guess they're having a hard time kind of keeping up with everything. And so I'm very excited about that. Am I going to be doing it? I don't really want to reveal that right now, whether I am or not. But that's one of the news, I guess. I'm just going to put a little bit more. That's one of the news that I have. And then I also contacted them all, which I kind of posted yesterday, I think, for some advice. But anyways, Then I contacted a mall to see how much it was to get like a little kiosk for the winter, like the holiday season. And it's a lot. It's a lot, and that we aren't going to do. Because it's a lot of money, and because, I mean, I'm still in the beginning stages, right? It's not like I'm a big shot soaper. I don't even make soap all year round, like any products all year round. So to put in the amount of money that, you know, is expected, and I know there'd be a good return, but it's still kind of a little bit worrying. We are going to hold off, and we are going to pre-plan for next year. So next year I will be in our mall. So I'm just mixing my green clay. Thank you, Dana. It was my husband's idea, and I am very disappointed. We did, you know, I spent some time. I'll just wait till after I mix. Yeah, so we did, me and my husband spent, you know, a little bit of time talking about it. I did shed some tears, just because, you know, when you're moving up in your business, it's exciting. And when you have to kind of, you know, I guess, I don't want to say swallow your pride, but just, you know, like, anybody that owns this kind of business knows you put your heart and your soul into it. And so when somebody says, no, I don't think it's a good idea, when you're just like, you know what, I'm ready to make it work, it's hard to accept that, yes, as much as you know you can make this work, there's still that possibility that it won't, right? Or that you will put money into it and have a hard time. Now we're in August, we're getting a pool, so that kind of had a big effect. If we weren't getting that, I think that we'd probably, you know, make it work budget-wise. But because of that darn pool, we're having to kind of back away and take it up next year. And that's still okay. And that's what I just had to keep telling myself, is that we're going to do it next year. And I think that's a big thing for anybody's business. If something can't get done now, shoot for it for next year, or shoot for it for the next month. You know, just because it can't be done right away doesn't mean it can't ever be done. So even with, you know, businesses that you're having a little bit of a hard time, just keep at it, because eventually it will turn around. If you keep at it, it will turn around. You have to be positive in your business. You have to, you know, you have to dream big. Don't dream small, dream big. If you want it to be big, dream big. So, and I am very much so. And so, like I said, it's going to be done next year. So I'm not worried. Okay. So enough chatting about that. We have, our titanium dioxide that's in here. So this is like the main, base of the soap. So now I'm going to be mixing my green. And so when you're doing an in-pot swirl, you not that you have to be very specific, but I kind of like to figure my things out. So I like to drop it into different areas of the bowl, from high, so that it swirls a little bit. And I'm okay to have a little bit left over. Oh, I might do, oops, sorry guys, I'm blocking I'm okay to have a little bit left over, because I don't mind, for my extras there, to kind of swirl some stuff in there. So like I said, you're just plopping here and there. And then the special, I mean, you can do this if you want, you don't have to do this, but I like to do it. I like to stick my, I don't know if you guys can see, there we go. I like to stick something, whether it's a, you know, something like this, or the end of like a spoon end or something, but I like to just kind of give it a little swirl. So I go in, I go around and then I cut through. And that's what I do. I don't do it every time, but this is what I'm going to do this time. So I'm going to go in, swirl it, and cut through. And that's it, okay? You don't want to mix it too much because then you're going to lose your colors. They're just going to end up blending in together. And plus when you pour, that's when it kind of mixes itself too. It's going to be a very pretty soap. I can already tell the colors. So this is my mold. And I'm just going to kind of fix myself a little bit here so you guys can see. So who tried the soap on the rope? There's a few people even on YouTube that were commented and saying that they were going to be trying it. So who actually tried it, or who's planning on trying it, I should say. Okay, so we're going to pour this in. So you can see those colors are just going to blend in super nicely, and that's why you don't have to stir the pot, I guess, as they say. Okay, and then I'm just going to bang my mold a little bit. Sorry for the noise. There we go. And again, I'm going to want to melt that. So we are going to just let that sit a little bit. It is getting thicker, so like quickly, so it's not too bad. And I will bring my other molds in. I don't even think I... Oh yeah, I guess a little bit. So I'm just going to move this over. I won't have as many extras this time, but that's okay. I felt like there was way too many last time. I just want to make sure. Okay. So just so that, make sure you guys can see properly. All right, and then I'm just gonna pour those few extras. I probably only do maybe 3. There we go. I think I could do maybe, oh no, I'm gonna just do 3. I'd rather save it than use it all. There we go. Okay, so those are just gonna be my extra little, so I have a lot less. So 30 is definitely good. You have enough to do a few samples if you want. So deduct, you know, maybe even 25, 26 if you want to be right on, you know, for that mold. But I always try to have at least a little bit extra. So put those aside and bring this back over here. All right. So now yeah, this is definitely still way too thick, but let's just kind of, I don't want this to be such a long video as the last time. The base has already kind of hardened, so we might be able to just kind of spoon this on there. So the video, the last video, when I uploaded it onto YouTube, I got such an awesome response. I'm very pleased. I haven't had that many people respond to any of my videos like that, so it's fantastic. Now the weight is kind of... So it was great. I was super happy and excited about that. Now, let's see. I kind of just want to... The other one I felt was, I don't know. I mean, I liked it, but I guess it's just because I want to change it up a little bit. So let's just drizzle a little bit. There we go. All right. So again, I'm gonna get. Oh, I used Just trying to remember what I had used to push my little ropes. So again, I measured them at 9 inches and then I tied them off. 9 inches is actually not too bad. You may want to do an inch or two more, but it still worked out. And then I have my little notches that are here. I don't know if you guys can see. There we go. So there's one right there, there's one there, and there. Anyways, they're an inch apart, and so I'm trying to kind of fit those in between there. So with my kebab skewer, I'm just going to go through and push them in like I did. It's the exact same method that I did last time. The batter is a little bit looser this time, so because we're not waiting as long. There we go. Hopefully you guys can see. Yeah, that's a good view actually. So, and then yeah, you can just cut them up like I did the last video too. I don't know if I'll upload. Well, I guess I could, eh? I guess you guys kind of enjoy the cutting of the soap as well. Who wants to see it tomorrow? Let me know if you guys want to see cutting tomorrow. Oh, and I'm short one. Oh no. I'll have to cut one. So I'll be able to show you guys how I did it. So again, this is the rope that I used. It's from Michaels. So that's one thing. I'm okay to share my stuff with you guys, okay? I have no problems. But the thing that burns my butt is when I give all the information and I say it numerous times in the video, and yet people still go and say, oh, where did you get this? Or where did you get that? Or watch the video. And even if there's no volume, or even if you can't hear me properly, you can still see what it says, okay? It takes up a lot of my time afterwards. I spend probably, well, for one, because I'm just like that, I end up re-watching the full video after I upload it. I sit down and I watch the full video before I even upload it onto YouTube. Because if for whatever reason there's a part where I'm like, you know, then if I want to edit it, a lot of the times I don't edit it. I just say too bad, so sad, and I don't even upload it. So it takes up a lot of my time to do this video, to talk about everything, to have everything prepared and this and that, then to, you know, answer questions. That it's fine to have questions. It's just, if I already answered anything in the video, try not to ask me again. Watch the video, and I know they get long, but watch the video and then you'll get all the information. I don't leave any information out, okay? So anyways, I'm going to talk about it again. This is the rope that I'm using. It's from Michaels. It is a 3 milliliter right there. 3 milliliters, so 0.1 inch in thickness. You get 15 yards, okay? And it is 100% polyester. There's no wire in it. And like I said, this is what I get from Michaels. So I'm sure that Hobby Lobby has it, or I know like our fabric stores have something similar like that. So that's what I use, okay? Now I take a ruler, and I'm not, well, I guess I can actually do the, if I can find the ruler, here we go. So I take a ruler and it's a new ruler because I can't find the one that I was using before. Anyways, so I take my ruler and I'll move this over here so you guys can see. Okay. Steph, I'm gonna kill you even if you're in Nova Scotia. Just you wait next time you come down. I'm gonna do a heavy lye soap and give it to you. Kidding. Okay, so this is my ruler. I did it up to the 9 inches. So you could easily do, I think even 10 would be okay. But I'm going to do it at night. So you guys are all so funny, eh? It's, I mean, it's, you laugh about it, right? But it's just, it gets annoying. I'm not trying to be rude or mean or anything, but it just gets aggravating because I give all that information, right? So, yeah, you guys are laughing, but I'm trying to be as nice as possible to tell you guys, just watch the video, please. Okay, oh, I didn't even show you guys what I'm doing. Okay, so I just cut it, and then I'm just gonna wrap my ends. So just like I don't even know what kind of knot this would be considered, but anyways, just knot it at the end, and then I have to yank it all the way to the bottom. Whoops. All the way to the bottom, and then that's how I did them. So they're not like someone else asked me, where did you get your pre-knotted rope? Well, you know, I talked about it in the video. I didn't pre-knot them, I made them myself, and I showed that on the video. So I'm showing it again so that you guys can see they're not pre-knotted. And I'm sorry if any of those people that ask those questions are watching. I'm just stating that it gets very frustrating to have to repeat when I already stated it in the video. And then, so I'm just going to push that in there, and there we go. So that's all there is to it. And so like I said, I'm going to, I'll do a video tomorrow on cutting. Oh, there it is. I just want to wipe because the soap wasn't as hard as obviously we had it last time. It's kind of just falling here. So again, I will, as you know, the next half hour goes, it'll either settle or it'll stay. So I'll just come in and kind of clean up my edges and do all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so it's going to have a different kind of look than the regular soaps that I make, because like I said, it's in the pot. And so yeah, it'll have a completely different look. So I'll do the cutting video tomorrow. Yes, we pick because we love. We do love. Stephanie is my cousin, my second cousin, but she's my cousin, and she lives on the other side of Canada, and she only comes down every once in a while, but I love seeing her, and obviously she has followed into my footsteps of being a soap maker, so I'm very happy for her. Anyways, so I'm gonna cut this video now, and hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will see you very soon. Bye.